Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday for round 2, chat. Let me turn on my light here. Blam, there we go. Hope y'all are doing super good today. What happened to my light here? It's super bright. It should not be that bright. My goodness gracious. There we go. That's a little better. All right. Yes, we are back at it for round 2 stream today. If you guys were watching our coverage of the SpaceX Crew 10 launch, unfortunately that was a no-go. What's up, Terrace? How are you doing? Graham, good to see you. Definitely a little disappointing from the earlier launch broadcast. We found out that at around T-minus 40 minutes, SpaceX called off the launch of Crew 10. They were citing a ground support equipment issue in their hydraulic systems, so kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer. What are you gonna do though? What are you gonna do? What's up, Cheeseburger? Good to see you again. Yep, strong arm issues. Yeah, it was particularly the clamps that go around the top of the vehicle. We'll actually see them tonight here, hopefully, depending on when the live stream goes live. It should be basically now, and it is. Look at that, chat. Perfect timing. Wonderful. There we go. We can do that. We can do that. Boom. So yeah, SpaceX did just in fact go live. You can easily dim your light even more. Don't get blinded. Man, English is tough. Yeah, I could probably do it a little bit more. I usually do it because I have a green screen behind me, and the green screen needs decent lighting. Otherwise, things don't look right. Don't they do checkout for that before launch to make sure it's in good condition, or was that a during launch checkout? Yeah, that was during launch checkout. And normally they would check it during the static fire, and that's what they were saying before. Actually, I think during live stream was that the crew was trying to work the problem, making sure that what they saw was basically what they saw during the static fire and all the static fire operations, and whatever problem they were working, they couldn't resolve it. But yeah, definitely unfortunate, but hopefully Crew 10 will be back momentarily. I don't think we have an updated time frame for when that is going to come back, but we'll have to see. It should be, I think they have typically a 24-hour recycle, but that all depends on, just how well they can fix the problem and address it before the next window. So we'll just have to see, chat. We'll just have to see. There it is in all of her beauty. Man, what is going on with my interwebs? It is not letting me let my interwebs catch up for a second. But yeah, we are T-minus 4 minutes. This actually might be a good time just to make sure anybody coming into the stream for the launch doesn't miss it. Let's see. Do we actually have any volume here? Well, we should have volume, but I'm not hearing any volume. Nothing on the countdown net. But it looks like I'm going to run a very short ad break on the Twitch side, so that way nobody that comes into the stream is going to miss it. I also need to boost the volume, would probably be good because they are super low all the time. There we go. And then let's bring that down. All right, so I'm going to run on the Twitch side a short ad break just to make sure anybody coming into the stream doesn't actually miss it. And then don't worry, it shouldn't launch by the 1.5 minutes that I run. So I'll see you guys on the Twitch side momentarily. Let's try and get rid of those ads for the entirety of this here mission, and then we can go ahead and full screen that, and ba-blam. Most excellent. It is an old pad, so it's bound to have issues. Maybe it's time for a retrofit. Maybe. I don't think so. It's just, equipment breaks sometimes. Ground support equipment is always the bane of the existence for rocket flights, just because, it's a lot of moving parts. And I hate that this does not want to cooperate. Let's see if that works. But yeah, so this is another Starlink mission here set to fly. Should be a pretty good mission overall. Another batch of Starlink. They already have over 8,000, but what's a few more, right? Hey, what's up, Hippie J? That's right. Thank you very much. So this is going to be Starlink Group 12-21 or Batch 21, however you want to call it. We are just inside 3 minutes now. Stream's having some issues. There we go. But yeah, this is going to be booster 1069. Giggity. Booster 1069 flight 22. This is the 22nd flight of this booster, which is actually crazy. It's, I think, off of a 1 month turnaround time. I think they said it was like a 36-day turnaround. So this booster flew 36 days ago, which is absolutely crazy. All right, there we go. We have locks load complete. We are 2.5 minutes away. Next thing we should see, we already have the strong back. So these parts right here are the forward clamps on the strong back. To my knowledge, to my understanding, based on the webcast from Crew 10, it was these things that were failing to open or were having some issue in the hydraulics, and that's why Crew 10 scrubbed. But yeah, so this one's going to be sending another 21 satellites into low Earth orbit for the Starlink constellation. I think we're at like 8,400 satellites for them. Is this rocket in Texas? No, this rocket is not in Texas. This rocket is out of Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. So yeah, this is coming out of this is coming out of Launch Complex 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? 40. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking Vandenberg. Vandenberg is 4. No, this this is Cape Canaveral. This is Slick 40, not 4. Can you go back to the moon with a Falcon Heavy and 2 Falcon 9s? Can we? Not with any current human rated system. So Falcon 9 could technically get something there, but we don't currently have a space capsule that could fit on Falcon 9 to get it there. And currently Orion is the only lunar qualified system for carrying people to the moon. So like theoretically, yes, Falcon Heavy. I mean, yeah, you could definitely do it. You could do it with any launch vehicle, honestly. It just depends on what vehicle you're going to send your crew there, right? Because it's got to fit on Falcon 9 and all that. Falcon 9 is in startup. All right, so we are in startup. Basically, that means that the Falcon 9 onboard flight computers has control of the countdown from here on out. It's going to be continuously monitoring its onboard telemetry sensors, and then during startup, making sure all
go for launch.
Go for launch. There we go. Range is green. Weather is good. Flight computer is going to be monitoring the ignition sequence on the 9 Merlin 1D engines at the bottom of the first stage.
30 seconds.
Making sure they ramp up to full power before the entire system is yeeted off the pad. So some things are going to happen here in pretty quick succession. We should see off the pad the water deluge system coming out of the spouts here.
15 seconds.
A lot of water. And then shortly after that, if we get the same camera angle, we should see a green flash on ignition. Green flash coming down here. There's the Rainbird.
4, 3, 2, 1.
There's the green flash. We have ignition.
Lift off.
And all systems are go. Vehicle is ramped up to full thrust, and oh wow, that thing really rocketed off the pad. Does that seem faster?
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
That seems faster to me than some previous Starlink launches. Looking good though. Vehicle is now going to clear the tower and start its roll program. There it goes. So as it's going to ascend, it's going to roll to align itself along the proper flight azimuth. Basically, right heading, right, going the right direction. And then now it's already going to start pitching over ever so slightly as we try to increase our horizontal velocity to actually achieve orbital velocity. So one really cool thing to note here, chat, is take a snapshot of this in your mind. The actual plume on the first stage, right, is a very, very small like circular flare, lens flare.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
As it ascends into the lower atmosphere, as it ascends into the upper atmosphere at lower pressure, those gas plumes are going to start expanding very, very quickly, called under-expanded plume. And we'll start to see that jellyfish sort of look start to come through. We're at max Q, that's maximum dynamic pressure, the highest loads in the vehicle. That basically means the vehicle is now supersonic. And then we have about 1 minute left in the burn here on the first stage. Already 20 kilometers in altitude.
MVAC chill.
MVAC chill. So the second stage is already going to start running some propellants through it to start cooling it and conditioning the engine for its ignition process. And there you can see what I was talking about. As we get higher in the atmosphere and the atmospheric pressure decreases, those plumes, or those gases, are going to start expanding. And you'll get that jellyfish look eventually. All systems are looking good. This is looking like a textbook flight for the 22nd flight of this booster. Man, 22 flights on this one alone. After a 1 month turnaround. So this thing flew just 1 month ago, and it's already flying again for its 22nd time. What's the difference between guidance and control? That is a good question. I will answer that here after we have second engine start here.
Confirmed.
There it goes. Watch for the green flash again. Ignition fluid.
And back ignition.
There's the green flash, and we have ignition on the upper stage. All systems are looking good. First stage has a beautiful shot of the second stage, and there you can see some of the plume effects. So the plume from the second stage is actually hitting and impinging upon the first stage, causing those fantastic lighting effects. Here up the coast, you can see what might look, it's probably Jacksonville, Daytona, and then off over here is going to be Orlando. There's the massive stack of Starlink satellites, 22 of them. That's awesome. Yeah, so that looks to be Daytona right there, going up the East Coast. We have Jacksonville, and there you can start to see Orlando. Pretty good. So what's the difference between guidance and control? That is a good question. So you basically have GNC, right? Guidance, navigation, and control. Guidance essentially tells you where you want to be. Guidance is the goal. It is where do you want to go. Navigation, right, takes the inputs of the onboard sensors and tells you where you currently are relative to that goal. And then control takes navigation, basically the inputs, or I should say the outputs from the navigation, which is like your commands saying, hey, we're currently at 30 degrees pitch, we need to be at 40 degrees pitch, and control then allocates that that output to the actual control systems on board. So that's what GNC is. That's how it all feeds together. So guidance is your goal, navigation determines how to get there, and then control actually implements the how to get there into your control system, or like into your actuators. All systems are looking good. First stage is slowly, so basically the first stage, right, was ascending like this. It's now slowly rotating. It's going to rotate all the way around until it's basically now going to be going engine first back through the atmosphere in preparation for its entry burn. Second stage is looking good. Like I say, I don't know what it was, if they changed something in their design or, you know, in the nozzle extension, but I swear for like the last 6 months or something like that. If anybody else has seen this, let me know. But it looks like the nozzle bell on the second stage has more oscillations and vibrations. Not like that's a bad thing, clearly. I mean, it's functional and it works, but it feels like it's more in like the last 6 months or so than it previously was. All right, 5.5 minutes into flight, should be go for entry burn in another 30 seconds or so, not even. Oh, you didn't see the jellyfish from Jacksonville? I'm sorry. That's a bummer. Here's a view from the inner stage of the first stage, looking down. These are just the shadows of the grid fins that you can see here. Those puffs that you're seeing are some of the RCS. It does very small impulses to align the vehicle on its return trajectory. And pretty soon here, it looks like we'll be lined up for entry burn. Entry burn, of course, is otherwise known as supersonic retropropulsion, a deceleration maneuver, not only to decelerate, but to also push the very hot reentry heating away from the vehicle, physically push it away. There's engine start, so it goes 1-3-1. So there's a circular plume that's one engine into a oval plume that's now running 3 engines, and then it will cut back to 1 engine before full shutdown. So this should take it below like 5,400 kilometers an hour. Yep, there it goes, shut down, back to a single engine. So the telemetry feed is different than what we're getting on video. That's interesting. Huh. All right, well, we'll see. Oh, what happened? Okay. So what we're starting to see now is the plasma heating on the first stage. So this is quite literally plasma. This is the very hot stuff that will just tear through and eat your vehicle. I'm gonna make sure that we're live here because the stream stuttered for what looked to be a second. There we go. Oh, I think I maybe saw the barge over here. Did I see light coming through? Transonic. All right, vehicle's transonic, coming in for a landing burn. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the drone ship that I was seeing coming through the grid fins there. No, don't you do this to me. Stop it.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Terminal guidance basically means it is now on a different control path in order to really align itself on a precise insertion orbit. There's landing burn. Should be continuing to translate over to the landing barge. Stop it, stream Y. Stop it, X. Come on now. Where's the barge? It's coming out of the clouds. I see the light. Ooh, there it is. Easy. Oof. Easy mode, chat. Another one. That's the 22nd flight of that booster. 22 of those. It has launched and landed now 22 times. How crazy is that?
Back shutdown.
In back shutdown. Look at the wobble. Look at the wobble on the nozzle. Nice. Wait for good call out on nominal orbital.
Nominal orbit insertion.
There we go. Nominal orbital insertion. Another success under the belt for booster 1069 giggity. That was booster 1069 giggity flying for the 22nd time. Awesome. What a good flight. You know, there is something to be said about the simplicity of a Starlink mission. It's short, it's sweet, it gives you the jam-packed mission all in like a matter of about 12 minutes. They basically start the stream at T-4 and they cut the stream at like 8 minutes in. Not too shabby. Look at the nozzle on shutdown though. See how it's all vibrating under pressure and then it's going to shut down and you'll see some of those oscillations continuing. Oh, that's so good. You see that? That's awesome. Nope, stop it.
And vac shutdown.
And back shutdown. Ah, that undulation is just so cool. I love it. But yeah, what a good flight overall. 22 times for that booster. Yeah, I wish we had a ground shot of this. I wonder if somebody at NASA Spaceflight got a ground shot. But yeah, not too shabby.
And vac ignition.
So here you can see again, they used the, oh, that was a perfect stopping point. The first and second stages use the exact same igniter fluid because, well, technically they're the exact same engine. This has one Merlin M1D vacuum, and the Falcon 9 first stage has 9 Merlin 1D sea level optimized engines. So they're basically the same engine, just a different configuration. But with that being said, they both ignite using the same igniter fluid, which burns green on startup. That's known as TEB, or TEA-TEB, triethyl aluminum and triethyl borane. Those are two pyrophoric fluids, meaning that when they come together and mix, they then readily, instantaneously combust when they meet oxygen. So, you know, when you have an engine that runs on liquid oxygen, guess what? They flow through the combustion chamber with this igniter fluid, causing combustion, and then they can flow their RP1 and sustain that combustion after the fact. So yeah, pretty good. That's what that green flash is. I showed it at the very beginning as well. Right about here. See if I can stop it in the same point. Oh, see it? So it might be a little bit hard to see on stream because it's a very, very, very faint glow, but same thing here is a green hue on the startup sequence here.
2, 1.
There's the flash and then ignition. So yeah, both the first
Liftoff.
stage and second stages
Go
use
Falcon.
the same
Starlink.
ignition process, essentially. Not too shabby. But yeah,
Vehicle is
overall,
pitching downrange.
super clean flight. Super clean.
M1D, chamber pressure nominal.
You can see some of the ice falling off. There's also may have been some of the covers to the vents on the fairing, but nothing to worry about there. That was weird. I think their stream just ended. That's what happened. Yeah, what's up, Palangar? How are you? I'm excited to see Starship launches from Jacksonville eventually. You're not wrong, Andy. Didn't they say they wanted to start that by July or something like that? They wanted to have a Starship launch by July. I think I saw that somewhere. Is this the same for Raptor engines? No, funny enough, Jersey, it is not the same for Raptor engines. Because
9 is supersonic.
Because Raptor engines use methane and oxygen, and when those mix, also in a full flow stage combustion cycle process, you can use what's known as a spark augmented igniter. So quite literally, if you think of like a gas grill or something like that, you know, you have a little spark plug, you can use those because methane and oxygen react very well together with the spark, and you don't need a separate system in order to get the heat required to then combust. So no, I don't believe they use, I mean, I know they don't use TTEB, and I don't think they use any other ignition fluid. I think they quite literally have a spark igniter.
Actual.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, when you start working with some cryogens like that, it makes certain things easy. For example, I believe the RL10, the upper stage engine that uses hydrolox, liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, right? The upper stage engine for Delta and things like that, like Delta Heavy and whatnot. They use what's known as a oxygen augmented spark igniter, meaning that you have a spark system, right? And you have a little cavity, a little chamber where they bleed some of the hydrogen in, but then they have 2 inlets of oxygen to really mix it really well, and then they ignite it, and it basically creates like a small combustion engine, if you will, a small combustion process that then feeds into the larger combustion chamber, and then as you're running hydrogen and liquid oxygen through your combustion chamber, that torch, also known as a torch igniter, ignites your entire system. Hey, what's up, Charles? How are you doing? What's up, Lava? Good to see you. Oh, but that picture right there before the engine ignited, you could really see the Florida coast pretty well. Yeah, look at that. So there's Tampa. Tampa Bay's over here on the far side of Florida. The west coast of Florida goes up this way. Is that Pensacola way in the distance? Is that the Panhandle coming around? Maybe. But yeah, you see that? Because we're really high, Chad. We're 73 kilometers in altitude. But yeah, that's Tampa. There you can see Orlando, the big sprawl of Orlando. There's Titusville and the Cape Canaveral area. That's Daytona Beach. And then there is Jacksonville. That's pretty cool. You can actually really see the entire coastline here very well from this camera view. And then the Merlin 1D vacuum ignites, and then it all goes away. I got an idea how to make all the buildings we see in KSP 2 trailer. If I do learn to model your own parts, I'm going to try to make the triangular containers, the trailer. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Can you make me a mod? I've been here since 200 subs. I appreciate that, Charles. You know, I need to do better at
separation confirmed.
The YouTube side. And you know what? Let me pay better attention to that, Charles, and then we'll see what's up. Let me pay better attention to that. Because you're right, I do need to start doing that now that the channel's growing and we're getting more views on YouTube. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Have they got rid of the nozzle stiffener rings? They did. They did remove the nozzle stiffener rings. So for anybody who's been following SpaceX launches, you remember the actual nozzle bell at the very bottom here had essentially a thin tube that went all the way around the bottom of the nozzle, and it was held together by some sort of wire that would be heated up and burn away. And that stiffener ring, also known as a stiffener ring, was basically there just to mitigate all of the wobble that we saw during shutdown, because that also happens during startup. That nozzle is huge, right? In order to put that into perspective, that single nozzle that we see on the right hand side of our screen fits the entire diameter of Falcon 9, where on the first stage of Falcon 9 we can fit 9 engines, right? So that engine there, that nozzle expansion is massive. And so to try and keep all of the transients from basically destroying the nozzle during the original Merlin 1D vacuum design, they had that stiffener ring that once the vehicle turned on, that upper stage turned on, the natural heat from the nozzle would actually burn through a wire and the entire tube would then separate away, because then it wouldn't be needed. And that would just be dead mass, right? Even if it's only a little bit of dead mass. But for like the last year, maybe not even quite the last year, they were able to remove that. Whether they changed the design or they just had enough testing under their belt, they realized that they didn't have to do that for startup, that the nozzle expansion bell is able to withstand those startup transients just fine by itself. Don't really know the reason for the change, but they did end up implementing that change. Elon Musk is making a Tesla rocket. You got to plug it in before you use it. Coming from a guy named Gas Canister. I love it. Oh, man. Have they got rid of the... Oh, yeah, I just answered that. Thought you asked another question. But yeah, what a good flight this was. So yeah, right now we're coming up on that entry burn. Like I said, entry burn happens at around 6-minute time frame. And what this is designed to do, otherwise known as supersonic retropropulsion, it is designed to basically push, using the gases from the engines, literally push the oncoming reentry heating. Because as soon as we turn the engines off here, I'll make sure to point it out that we start to see plasma. Plasma is just very, very superheated ionized gases. And when you have a vehicle screaming through the atmosphere, Mach 5 plus, you start getting plasma, because basically you have that body just slamming into particles, into the air molecules, and splitting them apart. Well, not splitting the air molecules apart, but splitting off electrons, and ionizing that gas. And then as they get ionized, they release a lot of energy and it gets super hot, and that can quite literally melt and destroy your rocket going through the atmosphere if you don't have a heat shield, right? That's why the space shuttle, that's why Starship, that's why all of these vehicles that go through reentry have a big ablative tile system to try and insulate their body against that reentry heating. Falcon 9 doesn't have that. So what they use is their engines in order to not only slow down and reduce the load going through the atmosphere, but also to reduce its heating. Now, in terms of its supersonic retropropulsion maneuver, like I pointed out previously, what you'll see is at first a circular, basically what looks like to be a circular plume, because the reentry burn goes 1, 3, 1 engines. So the first one is a circular burn. That's its first engine starting up. And then after that, you'll see it go into an oval, like a very big oval like this. That is the other 2 outboard engines starting up. So that's 3 engines running total. And then after a while, you'll then see it go back to a circular plume, and that's cutting off those 2 outboard engines back to 1 engine burning before entire shutdown from the entry burn. So we can see that sequence here pretty fast. Mind flare, we don't need any of that. We don't need to mention any of that, please. Please. So there's the oval shape right there. That's the 3 engine burn. Oh, we did lose the telemetry feed. Okay, for a second. Or was that just... Yeah, I think the actual camera cut out. You saw it live in Palm Beach? That's awesome. Nice. How can I... Is it that? I think it's just that, right? Yeah, sorry. Okay. I didn't want to like ban you or anything. I haven't had to use YouTube too much. But here's what I was talking about before, right? So all of this light that you're seeing off of the grid fins, that is plasma. The grid fins are literally slamming into air molecules, and those air molecules are having electrons stripped away due to that massive collision and instantaneous heat and compression. And they're getting basically, they're finding the metallic grid fins and clinging to them, and causing this lighting effect on them, which is really cool. The film cooling is very cool to me. The film cooling, yeah, this right here. Yeah, all of the lines that we see going through the nozzle expansion bell of Falcon 9's upper stage. Yeah, film cooling. Basically, on the outside rim here, you can see that return valve here, that pipe, is literally dumping some of the gas generator exhaust back into the engine bell, and it's causing those cooling effects, which is really cool. I was driving north on I-95 and saw an orange streak. That's awesome, Mike. There you go. Right place at the right time, huh? So there you can see that little light right there. If I back it up just momentarily. Yep, there it is. That right there's the drone ship. It's aiming for the drone ship. You can tell it's the drone ship because it is the only light in the entire part of the Atlantic Ocean here. So yeah, that's the drone ship it's aiming for as it's flying itself in.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Terminal guidance basically means it is now aligning itself for a perfect orbital insertion.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And then we have landing burn, 1 kilometer altitude. That landing was perfect. Saw no problems with that whatsoever for 22 flights. Absolutely crazy.
Like deploy.
Looking good. There it is in frame of the drone ship. And just super easy touchdown. A little bit of fire, a little bit of residuals. That's totally normal. So long as it doesn't persist like what we had on Booster 1089. If you guys remember, Booster 1089 died on the last landing. Well, not on the last landing. It landed just fine, but there was a persistent fire that actually caused one of the landing gear to melt off and blow off because it blew out one of the side panels. And yeah, the booster then tipped over and fell into the ocean, which is really a bummer. But that hopefully doesn't happen to this one, so it should be okay. Oh yeah, the MSR plan, absolutely. I think we covered part of that. Did we cover part of that? Did I cover that? I think I covered that. No, I did not cover that. That happened the day after we did Space News. But yes, I did see it. Yeah, the MSR plan is absolutely fantastic. Wish them the best. Although I do have to say, I'm actually really interested to see what other potential competitors there might be for MSR. I really do think NASA for this mission, as a last resort, should try to commercialize it and basically send it out to commercial companies to work with. I don't necessarily know about a firm fixed pricing contract, but that's probably what, I don't know. I like firm fixed pricing, don't get me wrong, but I feel like for something like this, it's not the use case for it, but, I'm not a contracting officer, so I don't know. You like the giant excavators? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, for those of you who don't know, right, firm fixed pricing is what, it's basically you bid for a contract for a certain amount, and that is the amount that you get if you're rewarded, and basically no more. So that's what the commercial crew program like SpaceX and Boeing got for developing Dragon and Starliner. They got a firm fixed priced contract, meaning that they bid to develop Crew Dragon and Starliner for, I don't know, say $10 billion, and that's all they get. They better use that money, and they don't get any more from NASA. So if they have to, like what Boeing had to fit the bill for when things went wrong. That's great when you're working with systems that are very well defined. Like when you're working with requirements that are very well set, like human rated systems that are designed just to go to LEO and dock with the ISS, like those requirements, pretty well known how to do that, right? So ideally, a company can in fact accurately estimate within some margin how much they need in order to fulfill that contract. Where firm fixed pricing falls short is when you do not have good knowledge of what the end result needs to be. So you can have, for example, you might have more generic requirements, like, you need to get your MSR, your Mars sample return, your actual sample back to Earth. Well, that could be fulfilled by pretty much anything. Like there's so many different architectures that could fulfill that requirement, right? Where maybe it would be better to do a cost plus contract or some other vehicle. I feel like cost plus can definitely work if NASA actually is better at managing their milestone based schedules. As we saw with Bechtel and what they did with the mobile launch platform 2 for SLS, right? Like Bechtel bid like $340 million, and their last estimate said it was going to be like 1.8 billion. Like, oh my lord, like what did you do? They just completely underbid the contract so that they would get it, and then it was a cost plus, so then NASA just kept giving them money. It's now at like 900 million, 3 times the cost of what they bid. Absolutely mess. All right, Team Money, have a good night, my friend. Thank you. But yeah, I think cost plus can work, or maybe some other contracting vehicle that I don't know about could work better, because when you have something like Mars sample return, you need to expect things to go wrong, right? Things are going to go wrong. You're developing systems, especially as a commercial company that has never done this before. Guess who's only done things on Mars? JPL, NASA, they're the only ones that have sent things to Mars successfully to date. I mean, in like America, like from like a NASA specific field of view. Commercial companies, no, nothing. Commercial companies have built things for NASA for that. That's a little different, but in terms of like just giving this as a firm fixed price contract to commercial, when commercial entities arguably don't have the experience to develop it, I don't know. It seems a little bit more risky. But like I said, we'll have to see. We'll have to see exactly how it all fits together. NASA, I don't even think, has solidified their pathway forward yet for MSR, for Mars sample return. Essentially, the last knowledge the last press briefing we got about Mars sample return is that NASA did an in-house study saying that they could do it, but for like $7 billion and by like 2038 return. Like they basically said, yeah, that's probably something that's realistic for NASA to do, and it's either that or farm it out to commercial, but like no other plan or anything like that. So we need Jared Isaacman. Honestly, I really hope Jared Isaacman gets confirmed sooner rather than later. We need a NASA administrator in-house, and bootstrapping NASA, so to speak. Oh man, NASA sounds like the dupes. Yeah, pretty much. Sunken cost fallacy in practice. Yeah, for that one I agree, because there's an argument that I keep hearing that SLS is a sunk cost fallacy, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I don't think SLS actually falls anymore into the sunk cost fallacy category. Like categorically speaking, it is not a sunk cost fallacy, because SLS has been developed, it works, it's a proven system, and so now we're paying for like it to actually fulfill its operations. So that by definition is not sunk cost fallacy. But yeah, for something like Bechtel, when they just keep asking for much money to fulfill their contract, yeah, 100% I agree with that. All right, is there any specific reason why they don't dump the turbine exhaust in the nozzle of sea level Merlins? Is it because VAC engines have large expansion ratio to where you can dump the exhaust without worrying about the pressure differences and such? Pretty much, Lava, actually, yeah. So it's combined with complexity, right? If you now have to feed exhaust around into your nozzle and have your nozzle developed with like inline channels to dump that exhaust inside, like that's arguably not worth the hassle, because then you would have to worry about that going through your regenerative cooling channels, right? Because the Merlin 1Ds at the bottom of Falcon 9 used regenerative cooling, meaning that they flow their fluid, their propellants through the nozzle chamber walls, right, and subtract heat from that, heat it up, and then they can dump it through the gas generator or directly into the combustion chamber, wherever the cycle goes. So you'd have to work around that. You'd have to have your dump upstream or something like that. So it's just complexity there that's not needed. Secondly, the nozzle expansion bell on the second stage, to my knowledge, is not regeneratively cooled. It uses that film cooling from the dumped exhaust inside of that ring to help mitigate the heat, and then it otherwise uses radiative cooling. So it's definitely more needed for that. But anyways, chat. So I hope you guys enjoyed the SpaceX Starlink flight. Always pretty short, if I do say so. Let me see here. So what we're probably going to do now is kick on over into Kerbal Space Program. La da da da. Yes, we're going to kick over into some Kerbal Space Program and see where the heck we left off, chat. Because it has been a hot second. It's been a minute since we actually figured out what the heck we're doing. Let us see. Let's cut that, get rid of you. By the way, what's the next flight? Do we have a turnaround time on Crew 10? We do have, it does look like we have a turnaround time on Crew 10. It's currently scheduled. Here, let me show ya. According to the next space flight, it's currently scheduled for Friday at 5:03 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So it is a 48-hour turnaround time. Basically like a 47.5-hour turnaround time. So was that confirmed by SpaceX actually? Ooh, oh, hello. Very nice. Yes, very good. Look at that Falcon Heavy getting integrated. Look at the Falcon Heavy get integrated, chat. That's nice. It's 4 a.m. Hey, understandable, Lava. Have a good night, my friend, and a good morning. Yeah. We need NASA that has a vision, resources, and freedom to pursue that vision like they had with Apollo. After Nixon hamstrung the space program, NASA was never the same. I agree with that, yeah. Yeah, I've said for a long time that I actually welcome someone like Jared Isaacman coming in, because I'm kind of interested to see what someone like him who has a more business management oriented focus or skill set has, other than like politics or something like that. I'm interested to see what his focus can bring, right? All right, Turbo, we don't need that here. We're just excited about space flight. We don't care who it's from. So let's not bring that in here, please. But yeah, yeah, we don't need to bring that here. We're just excited about space flight. I would be interested to seeing what Jared Isaacman can bring to the table. Honestly, I think that could be honestly a good thing, because he brings kind of like a fresh skill set to it that I don't think we've seen since Jim Bridenstine. And arguably Jim Bridenstine had that leadership quality, but I don't know if he had like that sort of like business, bring everyone together for a vision style of skill set, you know? Drop Boeing, farm it out to you. There you go. There you go. But anyways, chat. Let me see. What did SpaceX say? SpaceX. Oh, it doesn't look like they have maybe officially said it. Nope, it doesn't look like they've officially said it, but it is currently on the schedule of next space flight, and they usually have a pretty good run of things, where it's currently saying Friday, March 14th for that flight. So how do you dock to polar moon orbit? What do you mean, to dock to something in polar moon orbit? Well, should be the same process as docking with anything, right? Whether you're in a low Earth, low Kerbal orbit, low lunar orbit, shouldn't really matter. It's just about how you get there, right? You got to set yourself up on a trajectory that can go into that polar orbit, which is definitely more difficult, don't get me wrong. It's 3 a.m. so dipping, hey, understandable, my friend, understandable. Yes, indeed. 3 a.m. for you? Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, let's see here. Let us see here. I want Kerbal. Come on, play. There we go. All right, we'll let Kerbal load and see what's up. It's hard to change plane from an outbound trajectory to NRHO. Yeah, it does take some finagling for sure. Let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go. I don't need you anymore. There you go. I actually don't know the lyrics. I don't know if this is that the thing that comes next after Let It Go. All right, let's load it up here, chat, and see what trouble we can get into tonight, because I do not remember where we left off, honestly. And it's getting hot in here. Do you want to build a rocket? Come and see it ignite. Yes. Yes, we're doing it, chat. We just need an AI dub of Let It Go, but for rockets in space. That's what we need. If anybody has that AI subscription, that song AI writing subscription service, go for it. Isn't it best to already start with Moon SO sphere of influence? That puts you on a polar orbit. Show how to send something to a polar orbit station. All right. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Do I have anything in polar orbit around the moon right now? What do we have around the moon? I don't know if I have anything around the moon in this save polar orbit, do I? Not into a polar orbit. I wonder if my other save does. Yeah, we can check it out and see if it's easy to do real quick. Here, let me go to a different save. See if I have something in polar orbit. I know one of my saves has to have something in polar orbit, so... let's see here. Resume the save. Let's go to Innovations. Innovations was a big save that we used to have, that we used to run. It's gotta have something in polar orbit. All right, let's see. That's a lot of debris. Hey, look at that. We got something in polar orbit here. Perfect. So let's see here. So essentially what I would do is actually, we're almost in phase. Probably the easiest way to do it right is to make sure you're launching to the moon when your polar orbit is basically facing Earth, like in line with Kerbin. So if your polar orbit right now is going this way, don't worry about it. Wait for the moon to come around, and then it'll be pointing this way. Then that should be easier to get to, if I'm thinking about it correctly. And then let us put something into orbit real quick and see if we can't get there. Forgot what normal KSP looks like? There you go. It looks like that. It looks like a mess. All right, so let's see here. If we go to, I just need something easy. Probably just spaceplane hanger. You can send my relay. It has docking ports and enough onboard supply. I'm gonna probably just cheat something into orbit, is what I am thinking. Although we could just do it with yours, actually. Do I have it in here? I would need to go to mine in SpaceWorks. Yeah, we could do that. Do an SLS. I'm probably just gonna cheat something into orbit because that's fast, but like the thing should be the same. Just get something into low Kerbin orbit and then follow what I do here, right? You shouldn't have to do it all in one go. Shouldn't have to do it all in one go. Let me see. Probably this one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're going to launch. Yeah, just out to the spaceplane hangar. A little better on the eyes. Yeah. You know, I kind of do keep meaning to get the improved GUI, but I also at the same time don't know if I want to do that. Only because, like, for any newcomers to the stream, I don't want them to think that I have this game like super modded, because I don't. But ooh, null reference, awesome. So we're just gonna cheat it into a low Kerbin orbit, just like that. Boom, low Kerbin orbit. So yeah, so pretty much all you should have to do in order to get something into a polar orbit insertion around the moon is first get into your typical low Kerbin orbit. Doesn't really matter. And then I am going to set that as my target here. Actually, not that. I want this guy. Set you as my target. There we go. And so what I'm going to pretty much do here is let me try and get first a moon encounter. So we'll drag it out till we get the moon. So not going to tell me the... Oh, too far over. There we go. And then at the same time, I should start being able to do something like this. Don't worry, from here, this isn't that expensive. And let me actually focus the moon real quick. Focus view, there we go. And I'm just going to drag this up. There we go. And we can bring this in, trying to leverage a little bit here and there. There's probably even a more efficient transfer as well. But yeah, it's just really about playing with the oh, let me see, I want to go maybe a little bit farther, see what that does for me, maybe even a little bit back. Oh, that's the next orbit. No, I'm sorry, I wanted this. Yeah, there we go. That should do it. If I bring it farther over, it gets us into that nice polar orbit right there. And then from there, that's pretty close. So what you could even do is just wait for the moon to come around a little bit more to where it's more in line straight with Kerbin. So let me actually do that. Let me delete that. And we're going to wait for that that orbit line to basically come straight in line with Kerbin, which looks to be like right there. Yeah, that looks to be almost perfectly facing Kerbin, maybe even a little bit more. Cool. And so we'll go ahead and add a maneuver over here. There we go. Give it a little bit of inclination, like that. And look at that, there you go. That's it. And then you should be able to just play with how much Delta V you need. It's going to be, of course, a more expensive Delta V burn if you do it this way, but you'll be able to do it. And then you can capture and then do your home and transfer, right? So that should be all that you have to do, if I'm not mistaken. Depending on how you have it set up, right? Like this will get you very, very close into the ballpark, and then you should just have to do small maneuvers at the moon. Now, another way to do it, potentially, you know what? Let's see what happens if I just start burning towards the moon right now. Let's see, where's the moon on the horizon? Yeah, moon's coming up on the horizon. Let me make sure I am activating engines and that we're going to control from the right spot. I want to control from here. Yep, that looks good. So first I'm going to just burn out to the moon because I want to see if this is going to be any better. Same for Minmus. It should be the same for Minmus for a Minmus insertion. Although I will say for Minmus, its gravity, right, is super, super low. So you should almost be able to do a 90-degree inclination change at Minmus for like nothing. For like a few hundred meters per second of Delta V. But yeah, it should be the same for Minmus. Get into a slight inclined, 6-degree inclined orbit for, you know, going to Minmus, and then just while you're there, try and line up for a polar trajectory. Yeah, you could do that too, Turbo. You could 100% do that too. Yeah, the other way to do that is just immediately go into a polar orbit. The reason why I don't suggest that, well, okay, the reason why I didn't say that to begin with is because if you launch polar here, then you really do have to wait for the moon to come around and hope that you're going to be in line, right? Because if you get into a polar orbit going, you know, essentially going this way, then you might not actually ever line up at that point to then cover this. Because if you go into a polar orbit here and the moon over here where you have your polar orbit set up is going to be 90 degrees offset. So you just need to make sure that you launch at the correct launch window. Go that north or south trajectory, that polar orbit, aligned with basically your when your orbit here is a perfect line with respect to Kerbin. Yeah, I gotta wait for alignment, exactly. That is exactly right. But yeah, either way, that would definitely be more efficient, right? Doing it that way. But if you have a little bit of extra delta V margin, then you don't necessarily need that headache per se. I'm just waiting for the moon to come around here. That's Minmus. No, that's Duna right there. So if you guys don't know, there's a trick in KSP where you can just start burning prograde when the moon starts coming over the horizon. And that should get you your intercept, so I'm just waiting for that point. What cool stuff can you do with Principia? I don't know. I have never tried Principia, so I am really not sure. All right, waiting for the moon to come over the horizon here. Oh, wait, was that it? No. It should be coming around the horizon, unless I missed it already. Should be right around the corner. There it is. So now I see it, I'm gonna start burning. So I'm just gonna lock prograde and start burning, and I should eventually get a perfect intercept for the moon. So we'll see. We'll test that theory here. We will test that theory here. Can you make an Aldrin cycler with Principia? Maybe. I know Principia does do more stuff with like multi-body dynamics, but I don't know how far that goes. But if it does do that very well, then yeah, I don't see why not. But I don't specifically know. I haven't messed with it. So how's our trajectory looking? Yep, looking okay. We'll just keep going. It does do in-body, and you could do much more sophisticated transfer. That's awesome. That's really cool. Like, I know it does that. I just don't know, like, how far that goes, but yeah, I mean, if it does in-body, then that's pretty sick. Now we know who put up the Black Knight satellite. There you go. That's right. There you go. Done. Just waiting for that intercept here. Yeah, we're doing a little test, Darlon. Seeing how easily we can get to a lunar polar orbit. Oh, I totally hit the wrong button. Should have shut down already. My bad. Let me bring it back. Yeah, so that's like an impact trajectory, and now I want to see like how much delta V is it to do an inclination change from here that would help us line. So focus view. Looks like it might be roughly the same, which I kind of figured, but it's good to know. Let me see if oh yeah, maybe I do something like that. Do a little bit of this. There we go. So 100 meters per second. I think that's about the same. Because we were looking at like roughly 900 meters per second or so doing the other transfer. So yeah, I think it's about the same, 100 meters per second for the inclination change at Kerbin. So yeah, either way, you should be able to do that. Yeah. There is any way to bypass the 2-kilometer render limit. I don't know if there's a mod that does that. I'm not sure, Luis. Hello from Dominican Republic, man. Really love your streams. I appreciate that, Luis. Yes, welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday or Thursday for you. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I know about the 2-kilometer limit. It sucks. You know, I think there might be a mod that does that, but I don't know off the top of my head. There are range extender mods, yeah. There you go. So yeah, you can definitely get a polar orbit even after doing like your normal insertion, but yeah, so long as you do your inclination change early near the the starting point, it should be not too bad. But anyways, let's get back into our career mode, shall we? Any good mods for building ships in orbit? I don't know. I am not a mod. I'm not a big mod user, so I do not know too many things about mods. I know how to use them. I don't know like what exists out there, you know? All right, getting back into career mode, chat. Let's see what's up. We'll jump over into our I2 SpaceWorks save, and we were in the midst, if we hadn't already finished, building the vehicle on the pad, so we'll see. Okay. So where did we leave off? That is the question. Please have it survive. Please survive. It'll be most excellent. The EM drive? Interesting. Yeah, I know about the one that does the Orion drive. Is that like near future propulsion or something like that? I used to use near future, but like, man, probably now like 6 years ago. Nice. Look at that, chat. It survived. It's all good. Everything is good, chat. All right, let's see what trouble we can get into. That is looking mighty fine, chat, mighty fine. So if you're new to the stream and wondering what the heck is all of this, so we built a crane. That crane lifts the first stage and the second stage onto the launch platform, and we literally stack them together like they do in real life for vertical integration. I used a mod called Kerbal Constructs, which gave us this second Kerbal Space Center, if you will. Basically, we designed and constructed this, and now I think it is time to move the Kerbals over here. Yeah, that is the time. But we're gonna have to do some stuff. We're gonna have to do some stuff, chat. Yep. So let's see what we can do. How do I want to do this? I want to probably drive the truck over. Yeah, I want to drive the truck over and then bring the astronauts over after. I think that would probably be the best move. We got to get our astronaut carrying vehicle, our astro van, if you will. Trying to make your rockets reusable, but I don't know how to deal with the render limit. So what exactly, Luis, are you looking to do with the render limit? Because there is a mod, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called, that essentially it almost acts like a merge process where you can launch your first stage, separate, save the game at that point after separation, fly the second stage into orbit, revert back to your first stage, do your boost back burn and landing, and then like merge the two saves together where you have your second stage in orbit and your first stage landed. I don't remember what that mod is called though, but there is a mod that allows you to do that. It makes reusable systems a little bit more straightforward if that's what you're looking for. Used it for a bit, yeah. How do you give a first stage lift capacity like New Glenn? Wings. Yeah, just the stock wings should do pretty well. That's what mine uses. If you saw it over there earlier, it just uses the stock wing segments placed off the side, right? All right, so what I want to do here is grab the space plane hangar. Yeah, if anybody in chat, Twitch or YouTube, remembers what that mod is called, let me know. I used to know, and it's totally slipping my mind right now. Do we have our Astrovan in this save? I think we do somewhere. Oh, that looks almost like it. Is that it? Yeah, CEV crew vehicle, loaded up. There we go, perfect. Look at that little guy. It's so cute. It's adorable. And we're gonna fill it up with a Kerbal. Names, you're being drafted. Thank you for your service. Actually, before I do that, one second before I do that, let me see here. I want to make sure I don't draft somebody that isn't going to already go on this mission here. So Snowman, Kerbree, Ice King, and Deke. Okay, very good. So names, you're good to go. Launch. Is it worth reusing all stages? It depends on what you're defining by worth, right? If you can truly get it back, and you're playing like career mode where you actually care about the money that you're trying to save to then launch more things and do more contracts, then yeah, absolutely, probably is. If you're just doing like sandbox mode, then no, there's no reason to necessarily. All right, so we're gonna take this truck and we're gonna drive it over there using our highway that we built, and then we'll get a helicopter out with our crew members, and then we'll fly them over. We'll do the whole thing like what we just saw SpaceX do with their Crew 10. We'll fly them out there, we'll drive them over to the pad, and then we'll have them integrate. FMRS, thank you. Yes, that is the mod. FMRS. I don't remember what it stands for, but yeah, FMRS is the mod that allows you to basically add save points that you could then merge together later, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it works pretty well if you want a more straightforward, less headache way of doing reusability. Country ball means maybe? Or maybe? All right, looking good. Like I said, we'll just drive it over to the highway here. And what a highway it is. That was dangerous. That was perhaps a little bit dangerous, but oh well. Don't tip, don't tip, don't tip, don't tip. We're fine. This is fine. Okay, good. Good thing there's no oncoming traffic, right? Nice. Just easy does it down the highway. You build passages for the water to... Yeah, they're right here. What are you talking about? Or is that what you're talking about? What's up, Elman? How are you? Are they Kerbal crossings? A little bit of both, you know, wildlife crossing, Kerbal crossing, yeah. Water pipeline crossings, sure. All of the above. You like those ring space stations on TV shows? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, indubitably. I mean, how can I not, right? Look at that little guy. You never know what Kerbal might be stranded out here in the wilderness trying to make it back to civilization. Gotta give him a safe walkway. Oh, this is a sharp turn. Oh dear. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, leave it. Keep it on the road there, bud. There you go. Good job. Pew. Yeah, we're good. Is Starship and Skylon? Well, unfortunately, Skylon seems to not be a thing anymore. And Starship? Starship would probably, honestly, it would probably just be better to use Starship, right? Starship is already so huge. But yeah, if you wanted to build something, then yeah, more volume, the better that can go. Yeah, there are mods for ring stations, absolutely. Oh, I see, Luis. Gotcha. Yeah, sort of AWD. Yeah, sort of turbo. We built SPMTs. Yeah, we built modular transport systems. Like what used to move the space shuttle around and what we see move all of Starship things around Starbase. Yeah, we built those mini wheeled things to move our first stage around. So yeah, not so much a crawler, but yeah, an SPMT for sure. Oh, I forgot. This is a sharp hill that I got to go over here. Shouldn't be a problem. It's not really that sharp. It's just kind of steep. There we go. Don't want to get too much air on that if I can help it. And there we go. Actually, no, I need to go this way to the heliport. But first, chat, we must check in with the admin office before we get on base here. Skirt, skirt. All right, you gotta check into the admin mod. There you go, with the very crooked GG flagpole. I never noticed that before. I think that's the level 1 admin building, if I'm not mistaken, that we used. Yeah, there's the dried pond. Never noticed that before. There's probably always going to be Jeb. Oh, coming out of the wilderness? Yeah, you're probably not wrong. You hate Skylon getting canned? Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we'll still get the engines, and hopefully that will enable some sort of Skylon type of technology in the future. I hope one day we get to build stations like Citadel Station, complete with Shodan AI. Citadel Station. That does ring a bell. Is that Mass Effect? Citadel. I remember the Citadel in Mass Effect, but is that the same thing? Man, just thinking about Mass Effect. How long has that been? Mass Effect was the coolest game. God, that was such a good game. I sunk so many hours in that when I was younger. You thought Mass Effect as well? Yeah, I remember the Citadel, but I don't remember if that was, I think it was a station. Oh, System Shock. Gotcha. I don't think I'm familiar with that one, honestly. But man, Mass Effect, whew, Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 were... Oh boy. Commander Shepard, that's right. Yeah, it was the Citadel, right, in Mass Effect? I I couldn't remember if it was a station or if it was like a planetary society, planet like city. I think it was a station though, right? Wasn't the Citadel in Mass Effect an actual station? Yeah, Andy. 10 out of 10 all around. Yeah, like they took what they learned out of Mass Effect and made Mass Effect 2. Like, yeah, I don't know if I would call, it's been so long that I don't know if I could like compare them effectively. But yeah, I definitely know what you mean. Both Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 for me were Yeah, what I really liked about Mass Effect 2 is you could actually like go to the planets in your like tank vehicle. That was amazing. It didn't have that in 1, right? From what I remember out of 1, like you could go to other planets, but you could just like send probes and stuff. Like you couldn't actually necessarily go to every world. But in Mass Effect 2, you could actually go to every world. So that was really pretty awesome. What did happen to the franchise, Turbo? Honestly, I haven't really, kept up to it or anything like that. Oops. I did not mean to go there, but that should be fine. Oh, we already brought them? Oh, silly me. I didn't realize we already brought them. Holy cow, chat. Well, you know what? Let's let's pretend that didn't just happen. And we're just going to get out of here. We're just going to take a little flyby, I think, is what we're going to do here. They made Andromeda. Yeah, I did not play 3 or yeah. So maybe I lucked out. 3 was mad, then Andromeda was a huge flop. I think there's talk of another one now. Interesting, okay. Oh wow, that deploy angle is way too much. My bad. I gave it way too big of a deploy angle there. It should only be at like 2, maybe 1 degree. There we go. We have so many parts in render range here that I'm getting such physics lag. Was it really just that different element that they could have just launched as a different game and it would have been okay? Going 100 meters per second in the helicopter. I think we can go faster too. I like this little helicopter of ours. Trying to get out of render range here. Like I said, it's like 1,000 parts right there. Okay. Okay, I don't know why that just happened, chat. The heck? Why though? Like actually, why though? Unbelievable. All right, we're just gonna leave them there then. I was just trying to have some fun. It's like the blade stalled or something, I'm not sure. We hit like 130 meters per second and then it just took a nosedive. I think we have to drive the truck over there. Ah, we have to drive the truck, but okay, that's fine. Whatever. My bad, chat. That was on me. I was trying to have some fun with the helicopter. No, KSP thought otherwise. Oh, I see element. Interesting. Yeah, they definitely should have kept it. All right, so we'll just drive this back over and should be fine. I won't mess with it anymore. We already have the Kerbals over there, so whatever. And what's cool with the Kerbal construction mod, we can actually store this over there, so we don't have to keep doing this. That's good. Well, I mean, I guess technically I didn't have to do this in the first place, but You know, let's go this way, because we went the other way last time. We'll drive by this admin building from KSC 1 and go to the other KSC 2. He's driving like a madman. There we go. There we go. Now we should just be straight sailing after this turn. No oncoming traffic. Brilliant. Yeah, we'll drive this over there. They'll get it out of the helicopter. And then, yeah, it should be pretty easy from there. And hopefully in a perfect world. Just drive them over, integrate them in. Integrate them, ingress. That's probably the better word. We're not integrating Kerbals into our rocket RE. No, I don't think so. Oh, we're out of electrical charge, so we'll chill here for a second. There we go. Up there's, is that, oh, everything coming into render range? Oh, it is. That's it coming into render range. All the different pieces coming into render range. Each one of those stutters is the first big one is of course the combined first, second stage payload and the launch mount. And then the second stutter is the truck. And then the third stutter is the crane. That's funny. Got another turn here. Try not to flip. Looking good. Looking a-okay. So like I said, we'll bring this over here to the helicopter. We'll ingress all of the Kerbal crew for this next mission. We'll bring them over to the pad, and then if that all goes pretty simply, I think we should just be able to launch it. I think all the hard stuff is done. Just a matter of getting the Kerbals in there. We'll use the hill to slow down. I think it should take that gap right there pretty easily. I'm hopeful. Yeah, there we go. Easy peasy. Huh. Interesting. Interesting how that strut ran. Oh dear. Oh no 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 no. Oh. Oh my gosh. I need to pay attention where I'm going. Just focus, rocket guy. Good lord. Could go that way. That's a scenic route, right? As long as we don't tip over. Some uneven terrain here. Oh, thank you, Luis. I'm glad you like it. Looking good, looking good. I love how these parking spaces are huge in comparison to the Kerbal scale. Like the buildings too. Like my lord. The scale. Absolutely ginormous. All right, there we go. Go around pulling from the front. And we'll pick up the Kerbals. There we go. All right. Oh, no matter what, it's going to be a pain. All right. Very good. Gonna have you leave seat. Let's see if we can get these Kerbals out of here without them killing themselves. Or the helicopter, of course. All right, first one out. That was pretty easy. All All right, so first up we have Flight Engineer Ice King Kerman. You know what? Actually, before I do that, let's take a picture out here in front of the helicopter and whatnot. Okay. Next up, we have the Chief Engineer, Deke. Oh, Deke fell face first out off the ramp, off the heliport ramp. There we go. So that's going to be Kirby. He's a mission specialist. Okay, that seemed to get him out just fine. He also fell, not a problem. And but not least, we have the commander of this mission, Mr. Snowman. Slight stumble, but he's okay. Okay, and they're all lined up, ready for a snapshot. There we go. Perfect. All right, Mr. Snowman, you're up. Yep, he's the snowman, that's right. Ice King? Yeah, we have Snowman and Ice King. Who will win in the Battle of Joe? You don't go up on the roof there, bud. Try that again, yeah? Thank you. And we have Deke Kerman. Okay. And last but not least, Kirby. Yeah, there you go. Snowman and Bandit. Hell yeah. Well, they are about to go fast, I will tell you that. They are very much about to go fast. Okay, very good. You know what? Yeah, let's bring Iceman home. Oh my lord. There we go. Mainly, I just want to move the helicopter out of the way, so I'm going to land him over at KSP proper. About to crash. We're not about to crash. Don't do that to me, game. Don't foreshadow or think you know. You know nothing. You know nothing about the snowman down there. Don't know what that's about, but anyways. Yeah, I don't know if we have blade stall at like 130 meters per second. It kind of seems like we did last time, but we'll see. Either that or there's an invisible barrier that knocks out helicopters around KSC proper. All right, there goes the, yep, it's out of render range now. Okay, now let's just land on the roof and we should be good to go. Okay, looking good. Tease it. Your favorite helicopter? It's pretty good, right? I like it too. There we go. Whew, we're down on the ground. Perfect. And we can open up the doors, let more Kerbals in, whatever we got to do. So, let us now go back to the Space Center. I wish I could just like go there, but that's fine. Go back to the Space Center. We'll go to our truck, drive them over, load them up, and yeah, see what we can do after that. See what we can do after that. Fly it. Come on, KSP, you can do it. I think in the meantime, I'm going to run another short ad break on Twitch since it's been another hour. Just for anybody who's coming in, I run manual ad breaks when there's basically downtime and we're not going to be doing anything to get rid of all of the pre-roll ads. So, see y'all back here momentarily. All right, that should be going, and we'll just take it slow, drive on over. Yo, what's up, Charles? How are you doing? Charles. When I deem it necessary, my friend. And you gotta earn it. Not saying you haven't, just saying. Do we have trolls here? Not yet, but maybe soon. One day, Chad, one day. The 58th? Nice. That's actually awesome. Yeah, he was going to, but now that you have to reset the clock to 0. All right, Twitch should be back. We're just taking a nice, easy stroll over to the launch site with our Kerbals on board. Should be pretty easy going. Hopefully we don't run into any problems by going up this ramp, but we'll see. Tease it. There we go. And there we go. Easy enough. And there she is. All right there. It's looking good. I really like this setup, chat. And Kerbal Constructs really makes this, like, easy, I guess. What is that thingamabob? Which thingamabob? This thingamabob or that thingamabob? Or this thingamabob? Or this thingamabob? If you're talking about this thingamabob, it's a crane. We use this crane to stack the rocket on the pad. Because we actually landed that rocket. We landed that rocket, actually not even there. We landed that rocket over here. We picked it up with one of our recovery vehicles. We drove it all the way over here. And then we used the crane to then stack the first stage onto the pad. And then we wheeled out the second stage and payloads, picked it up with the crane and stacked it on the first stage on the pad. And now we're about to bring the Kerbals on board. Nice. I like it. The thing you're driving, it has crew compartments on board. It's like our Astro van, or if you saw anything of the SpaceX Crew 10 launch proceedings that were occurring earlier, they used Teslas to carry the astronauts to and from the pad. So we built this little guy that has crew compartments just to ferry our astronauts here. Do they quarantine astronauts anymore? Oh yeah. Yeah, in real life, yeah, for sure. They definitely quarantine. Nice. Look at that. Oop, we gotta do a little turnaround here because I forgot. We gotta bring the truck in from this side because the ladder's not over here. No matter. And before we do that, of course, we'll have names. The engineer move the wheelless thing over for ingress. No waiting for Dream Chaser, that's right. No waiting. Can I get it from here, actually? Wait, can I really? I can, but the wheels and everything are locked. Can I turn the brakes off? No, I cannot. Okay, so I have to be in it. That's fine. That's one way to get out of your truck. Sure. And that's another way. Oh, you're about to get cut in half by the ladder. Oh no. There we go. Okay. Toggle the brakes. Make sure this is unlocked. There we go. Looking pretty solid, chat. Okay. I think that should be close enough, actually. Especially if I lock it in place. So that way the struts run. Where are the struts? Or where are the, Aha, there they are. Lock it. Blam. There you go. Oh, I remember, chat. I remember the issue we were having. Oh my gosh, we had the issue and I remember it now. Right. Okay. Ah. Right. I don't know if you guys remember, but this thing Kraken strikes with the landing gear down. I need to put a singular I-beam underneath it, which we can do with Kerbal construction, actually. Okay, that's fine. That's not a problem, actually. Yeah, okay. That won't stop any proceedings. We're good. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's get the Kerbal out. Oh, predominant is in there? Oh, man. Oopsies. Well, he'll be our pad ninja, I guess. A good ore heat map? Well, if you put it to like 90%, right? I prefer the green, red, and orange one. And then if you put it to 90%, you can see where 90% of the ore is, which is nice. Actually, I do want... Now names can egress. I wonder if I can get this set up to be the right height, where all of you have to do is step out and ingress. That'd be nice. Just take a couple steps out of the loop. That's nice, Andy. Indeed. Gaming's gonna be very calming. 100%. I just want to get it like perfectly right there. That'd be really nice. I hate that though. Yeah. I guess that's true. To some extent. Ooh, that might be money. All right, Mr. Snowman, EVA. Oh my gosh, so slow. So slow, chat. Oh my gosh, and it's going to do the input lock thing again. Target switching locked, really? I hate this, chat. I hate this. It does this so consistently, and I don't know why. Not an input lock thing. We have to do this? Transfer? No. Or maybe? Transfer crew? So that doesn't do it either. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, cool. EVA. For the rest of the year? Why? The year just began. The year just began, though. Okay, next one out. We'll have Ice King. Oh, okay. Have it. Transfer you into here. There we go. EVA. And we'll take a little snapshot photo. Nice. Ooh, that's looking good. All right, let's go ahead and get them on board, and then we'll just get the other Kerbals in on board pretty quickly. Careful. Tease it. Perfect. There we go. Did you die yet? No, Deke's about to go on this mission. There you are. Look at that handsome dude. There we go. Excellent, and last but not least, transfer. Wait, I can't transfer you, sorry. I need to first get out, and then I can transfer you. Just in time, that's right. We might not do the full mission tonight, but I think what we can do is at least test the launch, and then we'll pick it up maybe tomorrow, if not Friday, and do the launch for real. Because I want to do a test launch first with the code, since we haven't tested the code yet. And then, as you guys know, per my play rules, I like to test things, but if it's just a test, it doesn't count for real, that sort of thing, you know? We'll see. You hate romance movies? I like a okay rom-com now and then. I guess that's technically not romance, so. Is the booster reusable? You know it is. Yeah, we actually landed this first stage over here at this launch pad, and then we built an SPMT, like the things that carried the shuttle and Starship parts around, and we wheeled it along this highway all the way over here, and then we used this crane to pick it up off the SPMT and stack it on the vehicle, or stack it on the launch pad. And then we took a trailer out that had the second stage and the shuttle integrated on it, and then we picked that up with the crane and stacked it on top. And now we are moving Kerbals into position. So yeah, you know what? Let me back the truck out of the way now, so that way this can come back. Okay. That seems good. Excellent. No water deluge system. Nah, not hooked up to water, sadly. Not hooked up to water. It looks solid. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Not bad. Brakes on. Lock it up. There we go. And then we'll have predominant get out and get up onto the truck. Because there's something we gotta do, chat. There is something that we got to do. Can you not get into that? Come on. Come on. I don't know what it is about these things that don't want to do that. Like, there's nobody inside it. It just does not want to move him over. It says target switching. Oh, there we go. Finally. Goodness. Oh, he does have a parachute on. Nice. I didn't know he would have had. If he had a if I had known he had a parachute, I probably would have just had him jump off the tower. Anywho. I climb it? Yes, I can. Ah, brilliant. Don't have to worry about the ladder. All right. Excellent. So let me see what we can do now. Well, we can go ahead and store this over here. But before I do that, I need the Kerbals out here. We need to pick up one of the I-beams, probably off the truck, and put it on the back end here. Because we noticed that I need to have the landing gear picked up, because when the rocket separates, it Kraken strikes. So you know what? I actually might need these Kerbals here. But before we move them, let's keep that there. Then let's go to this truck that has these Kerbals on board. No, actually, let me get the Kerbal that's out of here. Valentina, sure. EVA. Too late? Yeah, I know, right? Had I known that he had a parachute, I probably would have done that, but oh well. Yeah, we'll see if we can't use Kerbal Construction to take like this I-beam here or an I-beam here and stick it onto the tower so that way it props it up during launch. Because that was a slight oversight on my end. Let me be clear. I think we can fix that pretty easily with Kerbal Construction. I don't even know if we need more than 2 Kerbals, but maybe. All right. Up, just jump off the truck. Sure, why not? Break your legs. And you too. Oh, you're just gonna actually land on him. Awesome. Good. Nice. A safe work environment, chat. You never know. KRPC or Kerbal Construction, Deke? All right, we do this. All right, what is a piece that I can take off and use? I know I can use the panels. Do I just need another Kerbal? I guess I need another Kerbal here. So you, Mr. Names. There we go, leave seat. See if this gives us enough mass that we can worry, or that we can move things around. He was softening the landing, that's true, he was. He most certainly was. Really? Still can't move those I-beams, really? Do I need another Kerbal in view? I can't do it with this, then I'll just use a panel. Kerbal constructs, okay. How did you get the Kerbal in the high vis? High vis, what? Hey, huh? Oh, and the high visibility. Yeah, that was a, I don't remember who gave me that texture packet. It was somebody from EJ's stream. Make one B? Started with an M. I don't remember. But it was somebody from that we know in the KSP community from like EJ streams and whatnot. I remember that much. All right, predominant. Oh, predominant's in there. I guess if we need predominant, we can do that too. But let's see if we can now pick this up. Hey, there we go. That's what I wanted. So take you off. Perfect. And put you like so. Okay, I don't know why you have to be like that though. But like, why you gotta be like that though? You really don't want to attach to that, huh? Okay. That's fine, I guess I'll just do that. Is it too far? Is that why? Why can't I attach you? Oh, because you're in the ground. Ah, okay. So can I do that? And then gizmo you into position? Are you not allowed to clip these things? I definitely thought that you could. Doesn't need to be pretty right now. This is just a band-aid fix so we can launch. Oh yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, that I think should be fine. Yeah, that looks good. I should be able to now test it here. If I do that, and then bring these up. Why are you not? I'm so confused. How's that thing not moving into the ground though? See, that's why I needed that there. Stand by. Do I need to reload the scene or something? Is that what has to happen? I never remember. There is a trick to this. I think I have to reload the scene. Let me do that. Let me go to Space Center. Hopefully it doesn't explode. I guess we'll see. The forum's back up? Oh, nice. Good catch. All right, so if we go back over here, fly, is it gonna be rigid now? I think you had to reload the scene. I think that's what you have to do. It's been a while since I've had to use Kerbal construction like this. EVA construction? Yeah, EVA construction. We have Kerbal constructs, but yeah, EVA construction. I mean, I think that works, question mark? I think that works. Better than nothing, question mark? But yeah, that did work. Reloading the scene. Okay, sure. Because where's the center mass on that thing? But I don't even think the vehicle's fueled up yet, right? I think that, oh no, it is full. Oh gosh, the vehicle, oh no, the vehicle's not fully fueled. Okay. Just the first stage so far. Okay, that's good. So where's the center of mass on this thing? Okay, center of mass is pretty far forward bias. That's good. Huh. All right. Well, hopefully that'll be good enough. I could move it that way some, I guess. Might actually be better to do that, question mark. Like move it this way. Up there it goes. And I think it's sturdy now. Okay, nice. Brilliant. That is janky, but that should work, I guess. Good enough. Is that good enough, chat? I guess. Yeah, it's good enough. Sure. All right, we're gonna go ahead and F5 right here. How do you make a SpaceX barge? The big what is it? The big space plane, like Mark III parts. If you move them together and clip them to where they basically make a solid flat surface. I think that's how I made mine in the past. Okay, chat. Well, let's get our VS Code out and see what happens. Oh, you know what? No. I just realized, you know what I want to do, chat? I want to create probably next time an entire checklist before we do this. And I do not have the energy right now to do that, chat. I really don't. It's been a long day. And we did 2 streams today, technically. So, you know, it kind of pains me, but I think I'm going to call it here. Pretty tired, pretty whipped from today. And what I think we're going to do is pick up this maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet. Either tomorrow or Friday. And we're going to make a checklist for this because we need a checklist to, you know, to make sure we don't mess up anything that's in the VS Code, because we have to, you know, make sure we rename the correct priorities, and we actually have the configure vessel naming set up, and all of these different things that we need to actually run through for the code to work. So I want to do that, and then we'll test it, recycle it, and then actually do a mission. So I think that's what we're doing. I think that's where we're going to leave it, chat. I think we are going to leave it here. I was hoping to get through the whole thing, but I don't think it's in the cards. Not in my cards tonight. But yeah, so much appreciated for all of y'all hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Like I said, we will be back, if not tomorrow, Friday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Actually, no, Friday. So Friday is the current Crew 10 recycle. So we'll probably be streaming on Friday the Crew 10 launch as well. So maybe depending on what work is doing for me, I'll be able to stream that and then just go all the way into Kerbal Space Program after the fact. But yeah, much love to all of you. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and see you later, and bye-bye.